Hello there, everybody, welcome back. It's Michaelalfox, Foxman, the Fox Master. Decided to play some more of this, and I am recording this before feedback from the very first episode, which normally I would say, personally, I don't like to do. Except that I just really like this game and I want to play it. It doesn't matter. I guess if there's 0 views on the last one, it's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep playing. Today, I've actually got some sort of good, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's good news or whatever, but it's news. Since the last episode, I just went through and did a bunch of customer orders so I could get to level 50. So now I've got like I'm maxed out. Lucky one. And I didn't know what this actually does. Apparently it just makes it eat your ability to repair parts even better, which is really cool. The only thing I don't like about this game is like I got all these extra skill points, and from what I can tell, I can't use them. But I think it's bad design if that's the case, because I'm thinking like, oh, there's all these other skills I could be putting my points into, but no. And the reason I have them left over is because when you look, you get to a certain point, right? Say level 35, so you can put 3 points into here. And then by the time you get to level 40, you're only, you know, you got to get to five levels. But then you can only put 2 in this, so you get some left over. And then it takes 5 more levels before you can actually put points into this one. But there's only 1 skill on this tier. And then 5 more levels to get to this one. So it's like I've accumulated all these extra skill points. I don't know what to do with them. Anyways, it's just, you know, I don't want to be too nitpicky, but it's like, you know, what up with that? Anyways, with all those orders I did, I got a bunch more quality parts, like the crates, and I got a bunch of new maps, the barnyard finds. So I think what I want to do is go to the barn. I wouldn't mind going to the junkyard, show you guys that's about, because I don't think I showed you last time. But you know what? Let's go do some barn finds, because, you know, you find some good stuff there. Although I think I read somewhere that it's cheapest to get cars from the junkyard. Maybe I mixed that up. It's one or the other. But, yeah, anyways. Oh, this is the wide body? So, in the last video, last episode, I did the Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe. This is the Factory 5 wide body carbon. I don't know what that, you know, what's going on there, but it's not nearly as rare as I'm sorry if you can hear a plane outside, by the way. I do have my windows open. It's a big plane too. Anyways, the Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe in this state might have even been, I wouldn't say worse condition, but similar condition. It was going for $1 million plus. This is $100,000, which is still not cheap. And by the time we fix it up, it's probably going to be, you know, $500,000 easy, probably more than that. So I might buy this just because at some point I'd like to work on one. And I mean, the wide body is kind of sexy, but I think it's also like a little too wide. Plus, I don't like this style of rear bumper. So if there are other options when we restore this, I'd probably do a different bumper. I know, like, technically this style of bumper, like, it's to help with performance or handling or what have you, but aesthetically I don't care for it. And you know. I should say I don't like it on this car, and I believe I said that with the last one because we were looking at different rear bumpers, and I was like, yeah, it just doesn't seem right. So I think I'm gonna buy this just to be like, you know, I have it again. I've got the money. This could be fun. Little Jeep Willys Civilian. There's a few different Jeeps in this game. Jeep is DLC, so this is not a modded car. It's DLC by the developers, so you know it's kind of put together kind of nicely on the inside, and everything will make sense for the most part. So, you know, let's just buy this. I'm gonna put it in the garage right now. No guarantees that we're gonna do it. This one I'm gonna buy, and I'm just gonna put it in our parking garage, so it, you know, save that for a rainy day. Basically, this is the Mazda. Yeah, it's the RX-7. I'm also gonna buy this. By the way, the dog barking is in the game. It's we're out in some farmer's barn, you know. The dogs can smell me out here. Don't take our Mazda RX-7, woof. Definitely would like to work on this because, again, I was talking about these in the last episode, how the Mazdas, they have a rotary engine, which is fairly different from a lot of the other stuff, or a lot of the other engines, I should say, that we've been working with. You know what, temporarily, I'm going to put this in the garage. Let me think about it. And then I'm going to go look for, oopsies, not really parts per se. Again, I don't need parts. But one thing I think I'd like to do for one of these builds in the future is pick a car that we're gonna restore, right? Find it at the barn or find it at the junkyard. And then all of the parts we have to find in the junkyard and in these various barns. Collect them, and then repair them and use them. So basically, no buying new parts for that car. They have to be old parts that we've restored, save for the parts that you know, that you can't repair in this game. So things like rubber bushings and you know, wheels, the rubber wheels, I should say, not the rims. You know, glass, is so on and so forth. I think that'd be kind of fun to do because it would span over several episodes, and I don't know, I feel like that kind of, we're almost like, it's like building a bit of a narrative. Where's this crate, by the way? And just something kind of fun to do. Yeah, we could just go and buy all the parts new in 2 seconds, and that'd be all honky-dory, but it's okay. It's literally the last one that we're gonna have to check. That's fine. Did I check this one? Yeah. Yeah, anyways. So let's go back. Yeah, I'll buy that. And you know what? I think I want to check the junkyard quickly, just to show you that, because again, I don't think I showed that last episode. To show you that, we'll do a quick run around, see if there's any interesting cars there, and again, we can always buy some just to restore later. So as I'm buying these, you guys can be like, oh yeah, you should totally do that car next. I don't wanna wait for you to do it forever. Just do that one next. So obviously we're not doing both these cars this episode, and maybe I'll do neither, but I think it'd be cool to do a Jeep. I wanna get a good variety going on, you know. Let's check out the old junkyard. Costs a little bit more to go there, but there's a lot more parts to look for, and usually there's more cars. It's kind of hit or miss. Like, well, in the barns too, it's like you're guaranteed one car, or there could be 2 cars, or there could be 3 cars. Junkyard's kind of similar on a larger scale. I don't know what the minimum is, but I'm pretty sure it's more than one car. Ooh, is this the Corvette? Reptilia. Alright, so this is one version. There's the Bolt Reptilia S. There's the Bolt Reptilia D/R. There's the Bolt Reptilia DR Supercharged. I think it's... I'm going to buy this for now. Again, we're not going to do this one this episode. But absolutely going to be doing this or the S. I mean, probably both. The difference being, I think it's just a different engine in those versions. And the supercharged, well, it's a supercharged engine, you know. It's the big boy that goes right through the hood. This is one of the games, like, kind of made up cars. I'm not gonna worry about buying this right now, taking up space. Can't remember, what's this one supposed to be, like probably like a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry or something like that, you know. All the games cars are still made, are based off of real life cars that they just probably couldn't get the licensing fee for. You can see there's piles of junk all around. Again, like, I can make money off of this because it's 46% condition, which is actually pretty good for a junkyard. And my chances of repairing are, at this quality, is probably pretty much guaranteed. As well, engine heads, you know, they go for a good amount of money. Engine blocks go for a good amount of money. You know, I'm just gonna buy it, not again because we need to in any way, shape, or form, but it's kind of nice. So that's what I was saying earlier when I was in the barn. You know, we can make trips to the junkyard often and be like, oh yeah, I need the engine head A, you know, inline 4E type for, well, you know, the Lotus, or this is obviously for a Lotus. You can even see the logo, but I think that'd be kind of fun. Don't you? I mean, I'm gonna do it anyways, but I'd love to hear what you have to think. I just have to think of the car that I want to do that with as well. See, like, S engine block is 12%. That's beyond repair, so it's like, unless you're gonna use that as is, there's no point. And the other reason I'm looking here is because you can find maps, and I'm not sure about the crates themselves, but I found maps very rarely in here, and that allows us to get a new barn on the map to go and visit. So gearbox is also pretty good if it's good enough percent to repair, but basically if it's under 20%, I don't bother. This is this the fastback or the Mach 1? This is the fastback. So this is absolute buy. This is based or supposed to be like a Mustang. I like it. I'm just thinking, what car did we do? We did the V8 2 carb OHV last episode, right? So this will go in the parking garage. That's it's a junk car. All right. Here's another. I keep running into these, man. But oh no, it's not the wide body. It's factory 5. I'm not even gonna bother buying this. I just want the Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe. Duh. I think this is like I don't know. I'd have to do research on it, so correct me if I'm wrong. But is this maybe just like they had the originals and then later they made more of them or something, and that's why it's not worth as much? I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna wait till we have the original one because I want to do a factory restoration. The one we did last episode was, you know, using performance parts and stuff, and some purists would probably be mad at that. This is also one I'd like to have. I'm gonna have like I should have like a list or something I maintain, and then probably put a link in the YouTube comments of all the cars we have, all the cars that we've restored, that have yet to be restored, and then people could could always look at that and then vote. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you see cars here, you see more cars over there, it's you know, it's kind of randomly done. But I'm not gonna go through all these. There's a lot of piles. Now this, I don't think I can repair this. I actually have never looked at the minimum number. I think it's 20% or higher you can repair. But this you want to repair. The blue is a performance part, and they sell for a lot more. So if I could repair this to 100% and then sell it, cha-ching. Again, you know, I'm just doing that because I can. The money's not really a concern. But let's just see. Let's just see. And then I'm gonna do one more barn find, and then we're gonna do the car. Alrighty. I love the music. But yeah, if these are the two, like right now, these are the two front runners. So I like this rotary engine. I like this, just, you know, it's a Jeep. It's gonna be a bit different than a lot of the cars are gonna be restoring. Look at this. Okay, 18%. So maybe it's 15%. So 18% though. We know we can repair that. So far, so good. And then that guy, I mean, that's easy. So let's see how much we sell that. I can't remember how much we bought it for, but it was like, what, 200 bucks for both of these? Okay, 550. Again, you're only gonna make, so if we bought this for 1,000, we can only sell it back for half. So this normally would, you'd buy it for 1,100, and even if you never used it and you want to sell it back immediately, it's immediately 100 or 50% reduced value. So, but still, you know, making 400 bucks just for that when we bought it for chump change. Not really chump change, but yeah. Let's open this case as well quickly while I'm here, see what we get. All right, exhaust, camshaft cap, timing cover. Like, so literally can be any part. Can have the added quality. So that's another thing. It's like, I'm gonna have primarily one car that I'm gonna put all of my quality parts in, or any, you know, that I can. So I need to figure out what that's gonna be. Maybe it could be that's yeah, I don't know. I'm just putting these over here in the warehouse for now so I don't accidentally sell them. All right, one more barn quickly, and then let's get to the main yeah, one of these guys, the main business of restoration. I think that I kind of lean a little towards the Jeep, to be honest. Save the rotary for the next episode after that. I don't know. Ooh, I like this one. This is the R2. That's right. That's the other one I was thinking of. So this is quite a bit different than the other Reptilia. This is more of a I don't know. Is this like an 80s kind of Corvette? But I still like it. Absolutely gonna buy this. Put that in the car parking for now. We check over here for our case. No. Nah. There it is. Alright, we found it. Still gonna check these. What's this guy? I'm pretty much gonna buy like every car that we don't have. Well, I didn't buy a couple in the junkyard, but you know. Oh, the Ferrari. It's the 488 or the 458. 488. So this is actually, it's like pretty cheap right now, 31,000. But if we get this all cleaned up, and I don't even think we have to put performance parts in to get like 150,000, 170,000, or maybe that is with the performance parts. But either way, if you're looking to make a good chunk of change, this is actually a pretty good car to start with. Mind you, it's a mod, so you know, I don't know. It might not be super balanced, but anyways, any of these cars I'm not gonna be selling until we start getting into maybe duplicates or something like that. I don't know. Oh, see. Well, I mean, this would cost more to buy because it's higher quality, but so we can repair it for 100% and still make money off of it. It's probably not quite as much. 15. All right, we'll do a test. 15%, because we know we can repair 18%. I'm surprised I've never actually paid attention to that. Got more dogs on this barn. That I can repair. I just will. That's another car. Keep your eyes peeled. The Ford GT. So there's the Ford GT40, which is like actual DLC. Then they have the 2005 Ford GT, and then the 2017 Ford GT. Oh, sexy, sexy cars. But the 2005 and 2017 are mods, so they're not... I mean, they look good on the outside. They look legit. But they're not quite put together as well on the inside, but that's okay. I was watching a video the other day on the 2017 Ford GT. A guy was getting it delivered. It's crazy, man. Crazy technology. So let's take a look. 15%. All right. So we know 15%. We'll have to look for a 14% piece. And then, so like, again, this stuff I'm showing you right now, I'm going to show less and less of, I think, in the future. There might be times where I just get new cars in between episodes, and then I'd start the episode off with that. But at the same time, I kind of like starting with the barn find as well, and just kind of maybe rolling with what we get. This is a great find. +5 quality. That's the best quality. The only problem is, I'm trying to think of what car uses a V8 overhead H. I don't recall ever working on that. So, you know, sort of a great find, but also sort of not. Well, I guess it depends on the car, though, if it's a sweet car. Anyways, let's just quickly, again, put those away, and let's get started on... I kind of want to do the Jeep. Question is, do we do a stock Jeep? $60 horsepower, inline 4. Oh my. I think that's a tough one. You know, I think what I might do is start performance parts. I don't think this is the sort of vehicle I would want to have. You know, no, we're going to do stock, because I don't want to have 2 Jeep Willys civilians. You know, like, I don't care that much about it. I'd like to have one. Let's keep it true. It'll be slow, but we'll watch them go. You know, we're not trying to go fast at this bad boy. We're just trying to zip around town, you know, throw a few groceries in the back. But what I do want to see is if it does drive, can we take it to the test track? No ignition coil. I guess I could have taken a look for myself. Missing the fan. This oil cover. There's a fuel filter. Here's the ignition coil. You know what? Let's just get those parts quickly because I want to do a test ride while it's really crappy. So fuel filter, ignition, fan. Can't remember which one it was, so I'm straight up buying all of them. There we go. Oil filter cover. All right. 4C. Bam. There's that ignition coil, fuel filter. Now let's see if it's got what it takes. All right. So I guess yeah, there's probably just straight up broken parts, missing parts. Yeah, you see some of these parts. They don't want me to. Well, you know what we can do? Here, I'll show you. We got skills to pay the bills. It's too old for that. Let's do a compression test. Take a sip of my drink. Well, there's your problem. Yeah, piston rings. That's no good. Honestly, once we get in there. Well, it does have the piston rings. Let's just do all the testing, just to make it look like we know what we're doing. Oh yes, to turn the knob. 9.49, 6.1, 2.5. These are good numbers. These are good numbers. All right, carburetor. Battery. Okay, battery's better. Starter's working. And then try tester. I mean, we could look at the tires. We're gonna be replacing them anyways. It doesn't really matter. It has tires, so that's good. Fuel pump. Ah, I wonder. Let's just replace this, cause you know, I honestly don't know. I've been playing this game a lot. I don't know what percentage, what quality of a product is before it, like, doesn't work. 10% definitely seems like it's just not gonna work. Let's see. Fuel filter. Sorry, pump. My bad. Well, let's see if this is the culprit. So I'd love to, Oh, okay. Well, does it have an oil pan? It does. All right, let's do this. That's a good sign. I think it's like engine oil is one of the last things it'll warn you about. First, it's gonna go through all the different parts. I keep forgetting where this is. Test track. Let's go. All right. So you'll probably see, you know, the game, driving-wise, the mechanics, at least on a keyboard and mouse. Well, you mostly just drive with the keyboard and the WASD, and then the mouse is for the camera. But it's not great, but it won't be as evident in a slower vehicle. Oh my. My pedal to the metal. This thing has seen better days. You'd be better just to walk. You know, it's like when you're you're stuck in a traffic jam and you see like people on bicycles and joggers are running by. Oh yeah, okay, no, you can still see how touchy it is. That's why I'd really like to get a steering wheel, legit. If this thing's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. All right. But I think it's gonna be really fun just to fix this up and to keep it stock, you know. There are other Jeeps as well. There's like the military version of this Jeep, which is just kind of, it's like mostly the same. It's just covered on the top, little canvas kind of dealio. All right, we gotta stop, which I don't think is gonna be too much of a problem unless the brakes are just gone. Skirt. All right, and the cool thing about this is it's not just a fun ride around the track, but it's going to tell us more about the condition of the car. So just kind of want to show you all this, you know, different stuff. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because we're going to tear it all apart and we're going to repair everything, but it's just kind of nice, you know, so you can see this. Pretty much everything is going to be suspension and brake related. Although, you know, it does go on about the, I guess, the gearbox and the clutch and all that. So that's kind of cool. But, yeah. And then let me show you one more thing. Test path. So we'll do more of the same, but it does capture some stuff that the, oh, come on, start. It does capture some stuff that the test track doesn't. Okay, move on to the next. Okay. Alright, now it's going to start rocking us. It's too bad I can't take calls while I'm in this thing right now. I could be doing business on the phone. Oh my gosh, where are my legs? My legs! But Lieutenant Dan. So this, you know, we can see it's showing us the different rubber bushings, which are actually pretty nice because when I was playing this game earlier on, you know, I'd be trying to figure out, like, oh, why do they keep telling me I haven't fixed the suspension? What am I missing? And it's like, it's a bushing, and they're kind of hidden inside another larger part, and it's easy to forget about them. So having this is pretty nice to remind you. Again, it does more drum stuff, it's more suspension stuff. It's all good. All right, let's go to car lift A, baby. Start tearing this dude down. Start with all these parts. Yeah, definitely feeling just a totally stock rebuild or restoration. Nice little trunk. Straight up, I wouldn't mind having one of these in real life. I think it'd be kind of fun. Steering wheel looks different from when we were on the inside. The inside, it was like a wooden steering wheel. Think we got most of the parts. Also, let me just... Oh, wrong button. Yeah, so that's the Bolt Reptilia R2 Supercharged I was talking about. But, funnily enough, this one... Maybe it's just the image? Doesn't have the motor popping through. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's a good-looking car. Anyways. Oh, what I wanted to do was to tell them to F off. Because it's part of the achievement for declining so many customer orders. So we go in here. Now, the nice thing about this restoration is it should be relatively simple. Straightforward engine in line 4. So we don't have to deal with too many pistons or too many spark plugs or too many of this and that. I mean, you still got some of the basics. I mean, we've got this ignition distributor set up here, which is going to be the same for 90% of the cars. We got our starter here, we got our gearbox, the engine block, all that, but you know, for the most part, it's relatively straightforward. And look at this, you know, the simple belts, you know, they're not all serpentine and all that. Not a bunch of idle rollers. Basics. Basics. Alright. Oh. That guy's always tricky to take off. Oh, man. So, yeah. Alright. I don't want to talk about cars anymore. I mean, I do, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. What do I want to talk about? I could talk about my weekend. Which, I don't know if some of you may be familiar, or some of you may not be, but I do stream on occasion on Twitch, and I've been getting back into it a little bit more. And so I started almost as like a joke. Started doing these Saturday streams, 12-hour long streams. And you might be wondering, Michael, why would you do such a thing? And part of it was just like because well, I was talking with my boys from Team Unity. We were playing PUBG. And one of them, Mr. Daniel Giesling, said, "Would you stream 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 6 months, only playing PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, brought to you by Brendan. And myself and Ryan, Northern Lion, Gary, said yes. And then Mr. Austin, Last Grey Wolf, said, "You're crazy." So we got into a big debate about it. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to quasi put my money where my mouth is, so to speak. Because I was like, it's a no-brainer. If somebody said, oh yeah, and by the way, would you do it for it was for $500,000. That's why it was like a no-brainer. It's like, play a game, same game, 12 hours every day for 6 months. And then you get $500,000. If there was no guarantee of like $500,000, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. But anyways, you know, and my thing was, and to Austin's credit, he said I'd be, you know, he said most people don't understand how hard that is, but he did say my mouth is crazy enough to do it. Crazy like a fox. But no, I think for me, at least, because I've been working in the, well, corporate world / you know, on construction sites and stuff, and in our operations facilities for pretty much 10 years now. And, you know, I go to work, it's a full-time job and all that jazz, come home and, you know, if I'm not doing some YouTube recordings, I'm probably working on streaming. And so it's kind of like I'm used to long days, right? It's not really anything different for me. You know, I don't work 12 hours straight per se, but the whole work day and traveling and getting ready for work and getting home from work, and then, you know, that's That's closer to 12 hours. And then, once you factor everything in, and then on top of that, you know, I'll stream for a few hours in the evening. So it's like, to me, it's just like you wake up, don't have to go anywhere, you just stream in a game for 12 hours. A game I like I enjoy it. I'm not the best at it, but I'm also not the worst. I've got some chicken dinners of all varieties. Solo, duo, and quad. Quad, I said quad, squad, whatever, you know, four-person squads. So I legit think, like, especially knowing it's like, hey, you're gonna get $500,000 for this, I would have a very good time. So it's like, you know what? Why don't I just, you know, I can't just stop going to work and stream 12 hours every day. But why don't I just do a 12-hour stream on a Saturday? And then I did it, and I had a lot of fun. And there were a lot of people there, and we were all having a good time, I'd like to say. And then I was like, hey, I'm not going anywhere this next weekend, so I did it again. And then this weekend, it's like, hey, I'm not going anywhere this weekend either. I thought I was, but I'm not. And so I did it again. And now, you know, people are like, hey, this is kind of fun. And it was wild, this one, though. They've all been really, really fun, and lots of people joining in and hanging out for the duration. You know, 12 hours, it's a whole day. And a lot of people would kind of stop by maybe earlier in the morning, and then they'd go. Maybe they had to shift at work, and they'd come back, and they'd be like, oh, you're still going. And then they dive right back in, and it's, you know, it's a fun time. A lot of other people doing chores though throughout the day, and had the stream on in the background. Everybody's keeping everybody company. And it's very fun for me. I like that. It's good company. Thanks for the company, chat. But the wild thing for me was this Saturday stream. I don't know exactly what really sparked it, but there was a sub gifting marathon. And over the course of a couple hours, 330 people subscribed. I'd say probably like maybe not quite 300 of those. Yeah, that sounds about right. But about 300 of those 330 were people gifting subs. And that's some big gifters, gifting 50, 60 subs to other people. Very generous. And it was just, I don't know. It was one of those crazy kind of things. Crazy in a good way, but like, you know. So that's, that was my weekend. And, well, Sunday I relaxed, and did I not take off the rod cap? Crap. Sunday I relaxed and watched Northern Lion do his Sunday subscriber show. He was playing that Resident Evil 7 and he beat it, and that was a good time too. And yeah, there's just been a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff on the weekend. Hanging out with peeps. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. You got so many people starting to subscribe to you all of a sudden. It's like you don't know how to react. Anyways, so that's what I did. Other than that, you know, I'm trying to gear up for more cooking streams, because that's something I throughout the past couple years, I think it's been a couple years now that I did the first one. I like doing them. I don't get to do them as often as I would like, but I'm trying to gear up for it a little bit more to develop an easier way to do it. So I might try to do it with my laptop, if possible. You know, I want to make sure it's good quality, so that's why previous cooking streams, I basically have to unplug my computer, unmount my monitors because they're not on like their typical modern or monitor stand that they come with. I have them on like a, you know, those little desk mount, wall mount monitor arms. So then I have to unmount them there, put them back on the normal stands, bring them over to the other side of the room. It's not very far, but I can't just leave my computer where it is, and then I gotta move everything else. So it's actually a surprisingly big hassle to move the computer stuff over there, and also get out super long Ethernet cables and all that stuff. And then on top of that, you have to do the actual preparation for the cooking stream. So you know what you're gonna cook and get the ingredients, and you know, make sure the kitchen's nice and clean and organized and all that. You don't want other stuff in the way while you're trying to do that. You know, I live in an apartment and the kitchen is smaller, so you gotta make sure that you're maximizing your efficiency with the space. So, it's I'm not complaining if that's what it sounds like. I'm just saying, you know, and a lot of people have been very eager for cooking streams. Always saying, hey, when's the next cooking stream, dude? And I'm like, oh, I would do one every day if I could, or every weekend if it was really feasible. But, yeah, so that's kind of why I'm thinking now. Thank you, Toast Hat, for suggesting. But he said, have you tried doing it with a laptop? And I bought it refurbished. Because, you know, I'm trying to, don't want to spend a ton of money, but last year I bought a refurbished MacBook Pro. It's a 13-inch, so it's not like the 15-inch with crazy hardware and all that stuff, but you know, it's got a little kick to it. What am I doing here? And inline 4, yeah. Where are you? Did I go buy it? Nope. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna start tinkering around with my laptop and see about, oh, we can't do that. See about streaming from that instead, because it's very easy to move my laptop over to the kitchen, you know, just plug in the power and get an Ethernet, you know, just to make sure that it's good internet connectivity the whole time, and then just kind of go and see what's what. So I've actually oil filter I4C. There we go. I don't think, did I have the cover? Oh yeah, we bought the cover. So the only thing is just kind of making sure the software and everything, I kind of have the workflow down on the laptop. You know, it's gonna be a little different. But what I actually did too for the cooking streams, I meant to do this a while ago, but I wanted to get a second webcam. Actually, I wanted to update the webcam that I currently have, but I wanted to have two webcams for the cooking stream, and the reason being is the way, the angle that I can use my webcam for the cooking streams is it's kind of, you know, it's almost like looking through the kitchen, right? It's not like a head-on shot of me or anything like that. So it's kind of hard sometimes to really get a focus on the food and me at the same time. What was I buying? Was I buying this? No. Oh, fuel filter. See, I'm getting all distracted. Fuel filter. So now I got a slightly newer and slightly better webcam. It's the Logitech C922X, which will do, what does it do? It does 1080p resolution at 30 frames or 720p resolution at 60 frames. Did I not buy? Oh, jeez, I'm all distracted. We'll probably use the other one anyways. So yeah, basically the plan was you have one of the webcams is kind of looking more or less at me in the general area for the cooking stream. And then the other one I'm gonna kind of mount it on the kitchen wall just above the stove. And I've got like it's like an arm dealio, so that I can kind of move it around more freely and all that jazz. And then yeah, so that'll kind of be pointed more down at the stove, or maybe even just like the kind of general counter preparation sort of area right beside it. So if I'm chopping up stuff or whatever, you can kind of get like a better view, and then I'll have the two videos on the stream at the same time, almost like picture in picture. So I thought that was kind of neat. Wait. So these guys, you know, once I start talking about this non-car stuff, I kind of go in this autopilot, and I have a tendency to make a lot of mistakes, so I apologize. But, you know, we'll get there. The whole point of this for me is to relax, so I hope you find it to be relaxing as well. This is music. Let's chill music. I could change the radio station, and maybe I will at some point, but the classics. It's hard to beat the classics. Alternator. Yeah, repaired that. See, even though this Jeep was in pretty bad shape, because we're level 50, we got the skills to pay the bills. You know, we can repair pretty much anything. Gear. Is that I4C? Or I6? Is that? It was. See, they got the I4C and the I6B and the hibbity and the hobbity and the hoobity. Timing chain I6B. All right. I mean, the funny thing is, if we did put performance parts in this, I don't know how many of these parts there are performance parts for. Like, let's just see this air filter. Just for air I4C. It's not there. I mean, I could check other ones, but, you know. Just saying. Well, like the piston heads we could do, and the ignition distributor we could do, the fuel filter. I'm not sure if they have this power steering pump. There's only a couple. There's like the V8 and something else. But you get what I'm saying. Basically, it's like it's not really worth it to put performance parts in this anyways. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say worth it, but it's not gonna make a huge difference. So I'm kind of glad we're just going with the old factory. crankshaft pulley V8. Crank pull V8. See what I mean? It's a freaking Frankenstein of parts. The belt we definitely have to buy. I6B. That's not something you can repair, so I'll just buy both of these right now. And there's the other bad boy. The fan, we bought that already. Because it didn't have one when we brought it in. Oh yeah, I gotta finish you. Oh yeah, you can repair the rotor itself. But, the distributor, no. The clips, yeah. Flywheel, I doubt that's, yeah, you can't repair that. The clutch plate you can repair, but, because I'm so lazy, what I do, I just type in clutch. I don't even want to, like, come back here. I just buy it in case it's not repaired or it was missing. Yeah, see, we did repair it, but again, time is money. Time is money. Even though I'm actually the world's slowest at this game. I'm a lot faster when I'm not recording and talking. But, you know, I have fun. I have fun. Well, I don't even remember what. Why am I flipping you? We gotta put the pistons in. Yeah, ding dong. Pistons we'll have to buy, yeah? Yeah. Can't repair those, and I didn't already buy them. And the piston rings as well, so we'll buy 4 and 4. Oh, spark plugs. Let's get those bad boys while we're here. Do they have... Yeah, there's those guys. Alright, so we're pretty much across the finish line here at this point. There's not a whole lot left to do. Uh-oh. Head I4C. That green dude. I like the color. I was talking about it last episode too, but it's like also a lot of bolts. I do wish you could do custom painting on the engine block and some of the other components. I think that'd be a nice touch, but I won't hold my breath on it. But I think that's like one of those things you could sell on the next iteration of this game, whenever that does come out, you know, 2020s at some point, right? Air filter cover, I4C. Yeah, because I feel like they've got to come out with new-ish functionality in the next version. If it's more of the same, people aren't going to be happy. I mean, obviously I want to have... I'd like to think at least the same cars plus more cars. You know, maybe greater detail on all the cars to some extent. It doesn't even have to be that much more, but just, you know, more. And allowing more customization of the cars as well. I think that would go a long way, so now we can do the rod caps and the crankshaft bearing caps, which I don't think we had. Oh, we did. Oh, I thought I put it had. All right, we've only got 2 of these though. The third one we were unsuccessful in our repair. That's fine. This music is very cheerful. Almost a little too cheerful. You ever... I don't know. I know this sounds kind of pessimistic, but... You ever run into a person that seems too happy? And it's like good on them if it's genuine, but sometimes I feel like there's this one person at work. And I'm just like... I have this feeling whenever I'm around her. It's like, you're too happy. I almost feel like she's hiding something. Like she's a serial killer maybe, or... I don't know, but it's just like... Do you ever run into people like those? Again, if it's legit, that's amazing. But just something's up, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe I should feel bad for even thinking that. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world these days, and I'm kind of like, I don't think, you know, it's like you try to be happy and you try to find the silver lining in a lot of things, but sometimes it's like damn, you know? Sometimes you have to show you're empathizing or sympathizing for what's going on outside the world. You know, in Canada, I'd say relatively, we got things pretty good. Pretty solid. Doesn't mean we don't have problems. I mean, we got Doug Ford. It's Canada's Trump. Almost. He's premier of the province of Ontario, right? He's not a prime minister, so that's good. But he's still a ding-dong, and it sucks. And I'm not happy about it. Yeah. He's just cutting all these programs, and in Toronto, he's cut the amount of city councilors from, like, was it 47 down to 25. And you're like, man, that's pretty radical. That's, what am I doing here? Let's go into the engine bay. You know, is that he wants to take over the TTC, which, for those unfamiliar, is the Toronto Transit Commission. You know, our subways and buses and streetcars and all that kind of stuff. He wants the government to control it rather than the city. And then I'm like, why? Why? What do you got going on up your sleeve, you know? And he wants to go back. So we were in the midst of kind of updating our sex ed. And he wants to revert it back to what it was like. Sorry, I need a drink here. My throat's getting a little dry. He wants to revert it back to what it was in, like, I don't know, the 90s or something dumb like that. It's like all these very ass-backwards things. Shock absorber. There we go. Did I not buy two? Thought I bought two, but I guess I'm mistaken. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's painful to watch somebody come into office and then undo a lot of the things people have done. Admittedly, you know, Kathleen Wynne was not the greatest premier before him, but it's just like, just because you're new doesn't mean you need to just go and undo everything and change everything. It's like, I feel like that's one of those things. It's like, well, I can do it, so I'm gonna do it, right? Like, it's okay to leave some stuff as is and maybe build onto it, but everybody politician, they get in, it's like, oh no, I gotta just scrap it all, we're gonna do it my way, and I don't know, it's messed up, you know? Okay, so we gotta buy some brake drums for these dudes. Alright, so we will save wheels pretty much for last. We have, alright, we did all the leaf spring plates. It looks like we're gonna have to buy a couple of U-bolts, but we'll do that when we need to do that. Small rubber bushings, absolutely. Cannot repair those. Just gonna buy 8. I'm gonna buy a bunch of rubber, oopsies, bushings as well. Just a random number. Probably won't use them all, but they're cheap. And I don't want to have to keep going back and buying more piecemeal and all that. Okay, okay. Gearbox, did we salvage? We did. That's what I like. Starter, I imagine we salvaged that bad boy. Oh, we can't access it from here. Some vehicles you gotta get the starter from underneath. Other ones, the engine bay. So it looks like it's an engine bay. So transfer case. All right, yeah. Some of this stuff we've definitely done a good job salvaging. Exhaust is a no-no. Yeah, see, you just can't salvage that. Cannot. The sound. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to buy one of those for the rear wheels, but that. Oh, 2 of the drum cylinders. The shoes are all good. Drums we bought. Question. If you are a person who likes wings, chicken wings, do you prefer the flats or the drum leg dealio? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now. What you prefer? Personally, I prefer the flats. Yeah, it's 2 bones rather than 1. But it's something fun about trying to, you gotta get to that meat in between the bones. There's that technique where you kind of twist it and you kind of pull the bones right out, and then you just stick all the chicken in your mouth. That's kind of fun. But sometimes I like to try and wiggle the little bit of chicken in the middle out with my tongue. That sounds weird, but I don't know. I just like the flats better. How about you? Follow-up question. What do you prefer in terms of... Do you like the wet rub or the dry rub? Also sounds kind of dirty. Personally, I mean, I kind of like, I don't mind a dry rub. I can get down with it. I'll eat it. If you put it in front of me, I'll eat it. But overall, the wet rub is what I want. Yeah, it's messier, for sure. But I think it's worth it. Excuse me. Oops. Wheel hub 4. I need one of those, right? There's something else I need. U-bolts. I'll buy 2 of those. I think it was maybe just 1 I needed, but... And then follow-up question again, number 2. Dry or wet rub, you know, where your sauce, what is your preferred flavor? Now, I know this is going to sound kind of like, unadventurous. But the buffalo sauce, to me, it's so good. I have a lot of... there's like... Let me put it this way. There's not really any flavors of wings I've ever had that I've been like, I don't like this. I usually enjoy whatever. But there's just something about the buffalo sauce. And lately, I've been big on the Frank's Red Hot. Did I do both? Yeah. Like, on everything. Like, sandwiches, I'll dip French fries in it. You know, I just can't get enough of it. it's crazy. I'm gonna start drinking this stuff soon. Not actually, but I probably could. If you're like, I'll give you $5 to take a shot of Frank's Red Hot, sign me up. Joke's on you. I would have done it for $2.50. But yeah. Now, I mean, here's the thing about meat though. So now I've started doing this no meat Mondays. It's a thing you probably heard about it around. It's kind of would you say you call it a movement, or maybe some people might just say it's a trend. I don't know, but the principles, it's pretty simple. The idea is simple. You don't eat meat on Mondays. And what I like about it is it's like a really low barrier. Oh, we already bought that. Of entry. It's not like saying like, hey, go vegetarian, go vegan. It's just saying on Mondays, don't eat meat. You know what? Double up on Tuesdays. I mean, they don't. That's not what they really want, but it's kind of like, you know, it's one day a week. So to you, it's not. You're not gonna miss it. I mean, there's probably days when you actually don't eat meat on occasion, depending on the person, and you don't even really realize it. And so this is kind of like everybody just doesn't eat meat on Mondays. It has huge impacts on the world. Just from, I mean, and it's more than just like, you know, the meat, but you got to think of transporting the meat and you know, raising the livestock and slaughtering them and the waste and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's actually pretty significant. If basically you're cutting out, it's a bit more than 10%, 7 days a week, you know. So what is that? It's like 14 or 13%. If you're reducing the amount of meat consumed worldwide by 13%, let's just say, that's not insignificant, right? Think of that. Think of that. Because you've got... Why did I lower the car? I gotta do the wheels. You know, you think of all the cows farting all that methane. Yeah, I've got to do this. Exhaust, I foresee. You know, all the cows farting methane. That's not an inconsiderable amount. All the pig waste and stuff like that. There's been issues of, you know, contaminated water supplies and stuff, just because like we get so many pigs and there's so much waste and stuff, and it kind of just like totally pollutes the surrounding land. Because it's not like, you know, there's one pig per acre. It's you know, these big, huge operations where they have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of whatever livestock animal crammed into this small space, and they're all crapping and all this, and it's just like very concentrated. And yeah, rear muffler V8 OHV. So you know, I've watched a lot of you know, all these documentaries about food and this and that, and oh, you've got to do this, you got to do that, but it's like, you know what, this whole no meat Monday thing, I think it's very reasonable for me to do. Kind of gets you thinking a little bit more about what you're gonna eat for lunch. A lot of times I'm almost like, oh, there's too many options. And there's still a lot of options for vegetarian. Like, I think it's kind of silly when people are like, oh, I've got nothing to eat. No, there's a lot of extremely delicious vegetarian foods you can eat. Why do I keep lowering it? I want to do the tires. Actually, let's go separate these right now. And let me quickly write this down, the tire. So we got... let's see here. This is off-road tire 205 75 R16. Honestly, I could probably remember that, but now I don't need to. Yeah, you got loads of options. So the thing is too, I mean, it's also an opportunity to maybe think of like fairly healthy vegetarian options. I mean, you could go to Subway, basically get a sub without meat, but that's not really good for you. If anything, I'd say it's almost worse without the meat, even though the meat quality is like pretty terrible. But like the lettuce they have, you know, there's like no nutritional value there. Like a lot of the vegetables that they're gonna use are gonna be genetically modified to high heaven, so they're gonna be large onions, large this, large that, and you know they're not gonna have as much flavor or nutritional value, right? It's all about the monies. And then it's just like you're eating a lot of bread. And bread, you know, I love bread, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to crap on bread, but when it comes to nutrition, you know, you're not getting too much from that. I mean, they try to trick you with all this, like, you know, ancient grains and whole wheat and this and that. And I mean, they're better than just eating your bleached white Wonder Bread. Don't get me wrong there either. Just saying, ultimately, there's better things you could eat than a loaf of bread from a nutritional standpoint. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to offend anybody. You know, you're on the internet and you say one thing and I freaking love bread. You insult me for the last time. I'm gonna find you. I'm not trying to start any wars. I love bread. Just saying. But I mean, yeah, there's lots of options. They're really good salads of so many types. So many different types of salads and just vegetables, nice, proper, good, fresh, crunchy vegetables. Or even stuff like, you know, better option if you kind of want like sort of Subway but not, go get a falafel. I know they serve falafels at Subway. I've seen them before. They look like little tiny, you know, you play the air hockey tables, and you got those little plastic kind of discs. That's what they look like. They're brown little discs. That's not proper. That's an insult. You get yourself a real falafel, and you are gonna... It's so good. I'm oftentimes I'm like, I want to go get falafel. Yeah, shawarma's amazing. I love it. Other meat and stuff, I love it. But, you know, like falafel on its own is good. It's amazing. I love it when you get the tahini sauce. You know, a bunch of different veggies going on in there. Yes, sir. So anyways, and you know, another thing too, like I love chili. I like making chili. Next batch of chili I make, I'm actually gonna do a veggie chili, which isn't gonna be that different from my normal chili. It's just not gonna have ground beef in it, or whatever meat you might want to use. Maybe sometimes you might want to use ground turkey or chicken or pork, or do what you gotta do. But I'm just gonna do without the meat, because I got a lot of good stuff going on in there anyways, right? I talk about it on stream every once in a while, but when I make chili, I like to put chickpeas in there. I put some lentils in there. I get some different beans, you know, everybody's got some beans in there, and you know, you got your onions and your tomatoes and peppers and all that stuff, but the chickpeas and the lentils, they add a nice little touch, and it's good. And when all is said and done, you can freeze a bunch up into little containers, put it in the freezer, warm it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. So on the occasional no meat Monday, Hey, baby. I got myself some veggie chili. And I'll eat it on other days other than Monday too. But, you know, just another option, right? I'm sure you guys do this too, or some of you. Get the shredded. I like to use cheddar, but I mean, you can use whatever cheese, of course. Shred it, put it on top of the chili, and also a little dollop of sour cream. Or I used to do this too when there was a period when I was vegetarian for a few months. It was more of a kind of like, let's see if I could do this and be healthy. And it was actually the healthiest I ever was. I went rock climbing 3-4 times a week. On the off days, I did body weight workouts and cardio. Yeah, just because it kind of like forced you to look a little bit deeper into nutrition just to make sure you're getting enough protein or just eating enough, maybe in general, which has never been an issue for me. You know, you get your macronutrients and your micronutrients, all that kind of stuff, and excuse me, what's this guy. This'll throw you off. You don't really see him too easily. So yeah. So I did that, and anyways, when I would make chili then, as well, and instead of using just the normal sour cream, I actually used the Greek yogurt, like the unsweetened plain Greek yogurt, because it tastes pretty much the same as sour cream. At least it did to me at the time. I don't know, maybe my taste buds were messed up or whatever, but so I would use that, and the reason being is I mean, one of those little containers of Greek yogurt, they usually have, you know, 10, 13, 14 grams of protein in them. So that, on top of the chili, which, you know, you got some protein in there from beans and some of the other goodies. Plus, I like the taste. I love sour cream / Greek yogurt. So I'd do that as well. Just like, a lot of options, you know. Boo. Starter. So yeah. Hey, and I'm not gonna force anybody to do it, but solidarity. I think it's kind of fun doing some of these things together. When I was doing the vegetarian dealio a few years back, I was just talking about that was Mr. Northern Lion said, "Hey man, I'm going vegetarian for a bit." It's like, you should too. It's like, heck yeah, brother. I did not even hesitate, because it's like, you know, it's easier kind of doing that stuff with somebody you can bounce ideas off or share recipes with, or if you're having troubles with whatever, you know, maybe Ryan, he had a stinky poo-poo or whatever, and he's like, what did I do wrong? You know, like, oh, you can't be eating that, man. You're gonna have the stinkiest poo-poos. So it's kind of cool. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get in on this No Meat Mondays, hit me up. Tell me what you're eating on Mondays in the comments. What you plan to eat. And I'll do the same. And I think it's going to be a fun time. You know? And you just think about that. Again. 13%. I know you're not going to get everybody in the world. But still, theoretically, it's like, it has a bigger impact not eating meat for one day a week if a good amount of people do it. It's not unnoticeable. It's not. Jeep Civilian. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we gotta make a license plate. This is the second vehicle. So we do California. Custom. Mouth 2. There you go. Slap that bad boy on there. It's the hood. Front window. Yeah, we got to do that because it's you can't repair the glass. Nice, nice, nice. I don't know what color I want to do. You know what? Unless it's horrendous, I'm going to do the factory color. Is this the factory color? It is. A lot of times you get these, the factory color is different from the current color, right? But, you know, we'll keep this. It's kind of got that army vibe about it. Although a nice bright red would be okay. No. We're keeping it factory. That was the plan. You gotta stick to it, my friend. I'm missing something here. Guess I can just look down here. Global body condition. What? I know I've got to do the seats. Oh, I guess technically the seats count as the global body. So I don't see any 99% here. Alright, so what do we got here? We'll probably have to buy some new ones, but, seat Willys. Alright. Oopsies. Come on. Oh, wait. What was that? There we go. I think that's the part. I don't remember putting one of those on, but, let's buy 2 of those, 1 of those, and find out what the steering wheel is in a second here. Steering wheel 3. Alright. Wheel 3? I like it too. It's nice. I like the wood. It's fitting. From this angle, it looks a bit darker. Yeah, see, that's the culprit. I didn't take it off. I don't know why I didn't see the 97% in the before. There we go. I'm gonna go in. You know, we don't really need to. Actually, we do need to paint it because this part is new. But for the most part, everything else we've salvaged. But I'm still gonna paint it. It's something I like to do. Gotta give it a fresh coat. And we put it on the dyno, you gotta test it out, and then we'll give it a test drive too. I'll probably just take it around I'll do the speed track and then the test track, and that'll be that. Factory, metallic. Let's just see what we could throw on here. Whoa, yeah. So you could do some crazy camo. So we'll have another Jeep at some point. I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe do the military one as well. Like I said, it's kind of got the canvas top. And yeah, give it like that kind of paint job with the star on it, or even that one. Oh, Desert Storm. You know what? We could, because the parking garage, it holds 12 cars per level. We could be crazy and have one level that's just nothing but military Jeeps of different different styles. I don't know if I'd actually do that, but you know. I think I already painted it and I've forgotten, but there you go. It's nice and simple. I dig it. Now let's put it on the dyno. Oh, that's right. Let's do the oil in here. It's no big deal. Alright, car gets a sip of oil. I get a sip of oil. Not actual oil, just water, but you know. Okay. Oh, baby, you look good. You look good. Yeah, I want to proceed. So 60 horsepower. I had it in my mind it was 90 horsepower. I was just even less. But you know, if we do have that floor of different Jeeps, I think I definitely would have one that's kind of a performance. There you go. Actually, you know what? Before we tore this one apart, I should have done a, remind me to do that. I'll probably remember, but if I forget, remind me. I should have done a dyno before we started tearing it apart. It's like, yeah, 60 is factory, but what are we actually getting? You know, so you kind of want to see the improvements you make. So let's move this. Oh, I didn't want the car lifter, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we're going to take it first around the test track, and then we'll do the speed track. Which is not going to be speedy, but, you know, it's going to be our little ritual. Alright, you ready? You know, it still may seem pretty slow, but this is actually like 3 times the acceleration, at least, that we had when we first got it. Steering's pretty much the same, but that's partially just how the game is, you know. Slash, I really want to buy a steering wheel as well. Let's go. Oh crap! Oh no! I changed the view at the very wrong time. Yes, it's just like going around the car. It's like, if I had a steering wheel, it'd be smooth. You kind of just hold it in place, and then there you go. I think that's maybe what they kind of intend for this game. They probably expect a lot of people to have steering wheels, but you know. Actually, I guess we don't really need to take it to the test track. I think it's better just to take it to the airport after and just kind of do that. We don't really need to test anything. We know it's going to be as good as it is. Yeah, 100%. But the speed, I feel the need. The need for speed. Yeah. So I'm thinking too, what I'll do every episode is we'll go look at least one barn. Maybe we'll just stick to one barn. If we don't find something juicy, we'll just go in and restore. Oh yeah, jeez, that's got some kick. It does this weird like motion blur thingy on the wheels, but it does like only the bottom. It looks a little weird, but it does help, I guess, kind of give you a bit of a sensation of speed. And you need that in this thing. Are we gonna crack 100 kilometers? Hit the NOS. 97, 98, 99, 100. Let's go. Does this thing have a 4th gear? I highly doubt it. So our 0 to 100 or our 0 to 60 mile per hour was only 35 seconds. think that's our world record, right? Top speed 112. Can we get one more? 113? I think we're near the end. We might have squeezed a few more out of it, but yeah. Again, it's perfect for just getting the groceries, getting a couple things at Costco, whatever. Throw them in the back, just bomb around town, have a good time. You don't need speed for that. You know, if you're not going on the highway. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll kind of revise the formula. I don't really want to say formula a little bit, but start the episode out. Go do a couple bar finds. Maybe take a trip to the junkyard as well. If we don't find anything we like, well, we've already got a bunch of cars in the garage, and I'll show you here. We can just click on this and you can see I've got 13 of these bad boys. Parking level 1, we're not, done. So at a certain point too, I'm gonna organize it so we know, restored cars are, this floor, this floor, this floor. I'd like to keep them together, but, so last episode we did the Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe. And all these other ones we've just kind of bought pretty much today. Yeah. So I'm going to keep buying stuff if I don't already have it. And I'll buy another one of certain cars that we want to have like 2 versions of, like this Shelby Daytona Cobra Coupe. We'll have a factory version. So yeah, just kind of fun. And I like this too, like gameplay wise. I mean, you're probably gonna say, well, okay, it's the same thing over and over again, and maybe that's true, but that's really not why I'm playing it per se. It's more of just the overall process is very relaxing to me, and I hope that for you viewing it is it's more about maybe just hearing what I'm talking about, whether it's no meat Mondays or talking about something that happened in my day. Maybe like a lot of stuff is kind of nonsensical thoughts, or it's nothing significant, but I'm just sitting here talking, and so maybe you'll be down for that. But I also think it's kind of cool too, again, to get your input on different vehicles we should try, and what colors we should do. Should we do performance? Should we not? I don't know. It's fun to me. Anyways, I'm gonna put this guy to bed. We're gonna put you in the parking. And so I think that's gonna be by default. If we don't find something else I really want to work on next episode, probably looking to maybe trying this RX-7 just to get our hands dirty with this rotary engine. Sorry, I got a little hiccup there. Not my favorite car in the world, but I think Mazda, they do some cool stuff, and so if we take a look at that engine, yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So I don't know. Actually, let me just do. I should be ending this. 291 horsepower. Oh. We could put some performance parts in there, and you'd start to go. And this is the kind of vehicle I don't feel as bad about turning into kind of like a performance car, because if we look at the value here, I mean, it's worth a fair bit, but that's actually because like the body's in pretty decent condition, the frame, the interior, and obviously the engine is a little lacking and all that. Actually, it seems like it's worth more than I would expect. The Ferrari that we found in the barn was $32,000. Actually, maybe that's because we found it in a barn. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Point is, for older cars that are rare, I kind of want to keep them factory default for the most part. This one, we could make it a little bit beastly. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'll think about that. I'll think about it. You think about it. I'll think about it. We'll think about it. Anyways, that's going to do it. Another longish video they're all going to be kind of long, you know, at least they might be streamlined a bit, but they'll probably be at least an hour per video. And that's okay, right? Anyways, I'm going to bounce. Again, hope you've had a fun time here. Consider subscribing and all that jazz if that's your thing. If not, I hope you have a good day anyways. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.